but I found that quite nice, as my mind, it was finally clear. Thanks, everybody. That's glad always lives in the morning. Next time I got a very short one. Thank you. What you crying? This one's called Cousin Kip, and it goes like this. A stack of cash had Cousin Kip, but oh, the man was droll. He squandered on a money clip his whole entire roll. That's it. Thanks, I'm glad you got it, too. That's a thinker. Last up, I got a little story for you. This is it's a true story. It's called The Tale of Richard Ratchet. It goes like this. Once upon a time, in the town of Bolinas, California, there lived a little boy named Richard Ratchet. And Richard hadn't a mom, he hadn't a dad. All he had was the clothes on his back and whatever he could beg. And he wasn't much good at begging. See, Richard lived on a ledge on a cliff face overlooking the Pacific, and he made friends with the otters and gulls and seals. But one day he went for a long walk through the mighty trees, and he came upon a train trestle. And underneath he found a wheezy old hobo. And Richard asked the hobo, he said, "Hey mister, where have you been?" And the hobo replied, "Everywhere." And Richard said, well, what you gonna do now? And the hobo said, "Nothing left to do but die. But before I go, let me give you a present." And he handed Richard a ratty old cap. He said, "I stole this hat off of the head of a dandy back when it was still a fancy felt fedora. I fixed it up with my trusty rusty pocket knife, and now it gives wear something I call charming. As long as you wear this hat, no matter where you go, you get what you need." Then the air went frosty cold, and death rode in on a bank of fog, and he reached out from his cloak, and that old hobo wheezed no more. Well, Richard put that cap on his head and started walking, and he didn't stop till he got to Timbuktu. And then he saw the land of China, and he sailed to both the poles, and he hit the cobbled streets of London, Budapest, and Copenhagen, Paris, and Valencia, and spent a year in Prague. He crossed savanna, tundra, taiga, forests, valleys, rivers, mountains. He hacked away at wild jungles, and he rode a camel up and down the dusty desert dunes. No matter where he went or what age he was, he wore that ratty old cap with pride. And all the folks in all the lands would smile warm and have him in for tasty treats and let him lay his head to rest. But one day, Richard Ratchet, bald as could be, 2 teeth in his head and a beard that dragged on the ground when he stood straight up, came upon an ancient relic of a train trestle covered in moss and vines, and he knew then that he'd seen it all, the whole world. And he knew that somewhere a fat lady was singing. And who did he find underneath that trestle? You guessed it. Yours truly, none other than Clyde, always new to the road and munching a can of sardines. And Richard asked me, he said, "Hey son, where you been?" I said, "Nowhere's yet, Pops." And then he gave me his story all raspy and low, and he hacked and he wheezed and he coughed. And he gave me the hat, and I hiked out through the fog, and I swear, guys, as I did, I felt the air go frosty cold. Thanks for listening, everybody. Tune in next Friday for another episode of Cloud Always Show. Cafe International.
Thank you. That's Clyde always. He's always Clyde, and there's no one else. All right. Mr. Alan Harris, are you in the house? Thank you. Give a round of applause or a rectangle of applause or tetrahedral applause. I'll stop now. I really am stopping.
Okay. I have it on good authority that God is a weed-smoking, union-loving, public education-friendly, sex education advocating, non-gun-owning, pro-choice, anti-animal testing, vegetarian, socialistic, cross-dressing, bisexual feminist who digs Karl Marx, Friedrich Nietzsche, William Burroughs, Lenny Bruce, Robert Mapplethorpe, early Rolling Stones, John Lennon's Imagine, Monty Python's Life of Brian, and the delicious irony at the end of each episode of The Twilight Zone. and who wishes that people would stop thanking him or her when they win awards because he or she doesn't give a damn who wins Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, SAG Awards, Source Awards, CMA Awards, and especially People's Choice Awards, and who doesn't get the popularity of pseudo-messianic, uber-materialistic, racist, warmongering, asshole TV and radio talk show hosts who are most definitely and quite obviously going to hell, and who doesn't care what you call him or her, as long as you don't shoot at or try to blow up people who call him or her something else, and who would consider it a personal favor, please and thank you, if organized religions were a little less organized around ridiculous rituals like the smearing of ashes across foreheads, and a little more concerned with the practicality of giving tangible help to those who need it, like it says to do in that unreadable book that they claim to love so much, and who would like it very much if people who are lucky enough to have the right to vote would take that vote seriously enough to not base it on their fears and prejudices and a warped interpretation of the archaic language found in documents that are hundreds of years old, and to not vote for someone who claims that God told him to run. Yeah. Because no one who God wants to see in office would brag about it. And that's because God is an atheist. My brother said that would be very popular here.
You took the poem right out of my brain. Or something like that.
I have no idea what that is.
I'm shutting up now.
Anyone who steals my identity is welcome to it. It's never done me any good, so help yourself. Enjoy the calloused psyche and the fog-shrouded priorities and the emotional inconveniences. Enjoy my currency-sniffing fetish and my obsession with claustrophobia as a lifestyle choice. Enjoy my concern over the confusion of trees and how easily I'm intimidated by clouds. Enjoy how disgusted I am that freedom seems to curdle so quickly. Enjoy my belief system, which includes the idea that intolerant people should be put against a wall and shot. Enjoy the unhealthy amount of time that I spend thinking about burritos that I've known, and the fact that I still somehow manage to have bad hair days even though I no longer have hair. Enjoy the industrial strength envy I experience every day of semi-bearded, energy drink-addled, information overdosing, nickname bestowing, tech industry employment seeking, piercing-laden, device-obsessed, app-happy, glibness-spouting, tweet-spewing pseudo people whose lives are so much better than mine, who live in big houses with tennis courts and swimming pools and a heliport and a panic room and a war room and a time machine and a live-in mime and diamond-studded toilet seats which hurt like hell when you sit on them but make a great status symbol. And enjoy my inability to shake the feeling that there is no afterlife and that we're all just finite, compostable, biological entities that one day, for one reason or another, just cease to function. But, although, on the other hand, you can also enjoy the fondness that I have for winking at satellites, and for getting lost in the joy of an unexpected cartwheel, and for taking the time to stop and smell the weirdness, and for taking the time to thank a vagina for its service, and for the tiny kernel of hope I possess that there may indeed be a place called heaven, where the hours may be irregular, but the food is always excellent. Thank you.
Good idea. Hold on a second. We have a tradition here that when we have a new person who's the first time up here, we really welcome them. And this includes animal sounds, barking sounds, weird noises, and pounding of tables or other such objects. Our newbie of the evening is Sage. Let us welcome her.
Reading tonight, but I read here on Sundays during the semester because I go to USF and I have to start word night, so this microphone is not unfamiliar to me. No, I think I'm good. There, that's good. All right. So I'm just going to read two quick ones. So this one's called Literally Insight, and it starts with a quote from an Audre Lorde essay. And the quote is, "The learning process is something you can incite, literally incite, like a riot." Like a riot, like a fire, there is so much burning, literal fuming, anger, blowing smoke plumes, black as deep, deep pupils, as vinyl records, as bullets, and the inside of gun barrels. The learning process, Lord, how do we begin it? So reliant on the riots, insight into souls as deep and torn as only theirs could be. Signage and songs are learning to be silenced, burning on the sidewalks. These are the riots, literally, cars and shields and scores of angry pupils burning. How do we learn, Lord, to undo all the unloved and unjust and start understanding this violence in the beat down bones is so exact. I'll do a serious one and a fun one. So this one's called Drunken Lady, and it's after the Lucinda Williams blues song Drunken Angel. Words kissing, kissing on metal. I want to tell you how I can never be so. Wear your leather, my whole world on your blues song. My grandfather's harmonica would look good there. Kissing the way you love on a rhythm, on a microphone. You know who you look like metal feedback. Kissing buzz ladies in dark corners. Tell you how I revise our story of a drunken lady. City neon, all the neon feeds the energy. I want to tell you I live for the buzz of how my faux leather wears out and flakes off and we threw a trash can funeral for it. How I stole your feathered belt and gold disco queen halter top to be loud and kissed. This is important. Persona, all grata, all glitter, all grand lobby hotel. Have our bare feet hanging over. How I tell you I can't fake or feel or try not to lie. These words kissing past red lips, unashamed. I want to tell you I can always be so. Thank you.
My mom would appreciate that. All right. Eddie, then Lewis, then Step, then Off the Grid. Come on up, give Eddie a nice round.
I don't want to be all gibberish or anything. Well, school be the mic.
So if you do the mic, just stay off.
Okay, I'm starting to turn on. Anyways, I guess I just found in my book. Cutthroat decisions at the end of the book, washed up in the bay on a sinking boat. In the heart of the city, you can't find a friend, and the streets chew you up, and they spit you out again. You hunger for passion, and cardboard is your bed, and they say that a closed mouth will never get fed. Something for nothing, when nothing is free. You get what you pay for, and washed up out to the sea. You don't give a quarter or 6 points a year for a dollar, you're a whore. And I paid my dues. Cutthroat decision, you scrape to get by. You bumped your head somewhere where real men don't cry. But you still love the city, good things happen too. The magic is out there, walk a mile in my shoes. I'll tell you my story, I lived more than one. And a picture to paint, San Francisco needed sun. Another day, another dollar, another silver gun. When you're sweating like blood. Well, I don't have that too good of an ending there. That's what I got. That's what I want to read everyone. That's what I got. Thank you.
Eddie, thank you so much. Did I say you were next? Did I say mine? You were next? Bye-bye. Okay. I'm going to arrange this for you. Lewis is going to be our mini feature for the evening, so he's going to read for about 8 minutes. Then we have Step, and then off the grid.
You're going to be ready, right? You're good. You're perfect. You're a professional. You've done this.
All right. Give him a nice round as he comes up here, please. He volunteered for this, ladies and gentlemen. I caught him off guard, and I said, I'll do it.
Well, the only reason I said I'd do it is I had a piece that was going 7 minutes and I wanted an extra 2 minutes. So I said, okay, I'll do it.
There we go.
Yeah. So let's be honest about this. And my daughter's part of this too. Always, she's judging me critically. And she said as usual, Dad, don't do this piece. You've only got about 2 friends left, and you'll lose both of them with this one. I said, when you get down to 2, it doesn't really matter.
Some people change their mind, they flip-flop.
Yeah. So here we go. This is called Poetic Canons 1 through 15, and I'll try to keep moving. I am thinking of poetry and what it is and isn't. These days it masquerades in many guises, some authentic, others not. Often the perfect line goes unnoticed while the vacuous draws accolades of praise, even wins a prize. And of course there is the politics of poetry, race, gender, sexual orientation, ideology, and sometimes in the shuffle poetry itself is forgotten. Adding to the glamour, these days everyone wants to be a poet, claims to be, but unfortunately few really are. Therefore it does no harm and may even do some small good to ask the question, what is a poem, what isn't a poem? Canon number 1. First, a poem must have music or it is nothing at all. De la musica va tout chose, says Paul Verlaine. Rhyme, once the king of poetic expression, has ceded ground to free verse, the prose poem, personal expression bordering on madness, and no music at all. But without music, a son de la musique, poetry becomes an impoverished art pauvre. Canon number 2. And a poem must also be invention or something new, but not that evil thing talked about so much these days, innovation. Innovation is something sold to brainwash people because everyone else has one, and it is usually implemented in silicon and software and packaged in colorful plastic. Beyond actual use, it is also a fashion statement. Real poetry leaves the room the moment innovation walks in the door. Real poetry is neither cool nor awesome. It avoids the pink streak in the hair and the pierced nipple. Canon number 3. Poetry is also the heroic act of digging deeper. It does not show off cool stuff it finds on the ground, nor does it prance like a rock star or aging hipster on stage. It fails badly, but gladly at flaunting the gaudy goods of this world. It is genuine, a word that is underused these days. Who cares for the real thing after virtual reality has finished its glitzy presentation? If poetry looks pained or strained at times, that is because it has done the hard work, the heavy lifting to discover or uncover something usually not seen. Canon number 4. And it also has rhythm, but you may have trouble detecting it. It is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It is the changing heartbeat, the accent moving to a new position in the line, requiring you to listen, not just tap your foot to a known pattern. Canon number 5, it is more alliteration than rhyme. That old familiar trick and position not in the expected place. And it is the internal syllable of a longer word heard like a chime in a room nearby. Never goodbye, sweet love, don't cry. It is the gold scattered on the ground around the mind, alert and open to making connections. Canon number 6 and 7 combined. And it is the odd juxtaposition, not the expected, jarring you out of the same old pattern of perception. It is the word inquisition, blood in the plate, shit on the lace. It is the race to get nowhere sooner than now. It is living death, colorful rags, lovely old hags. It is the dried up waters of nonsense made comprehensible by complete idiots. And it is compassion most cruel and savage. It avoids the usual, the same old ad infinitum. Coming around the corner and knocks you down and picks you up. Sorry, old boy, can I buy you a beer? The Beethoven bar is right over there. It gives you your money's worth just for sticking around. Kid number 8. And it is the sensual lie, the caressing word, the brush of the soft cheek, the touch of the hand, the curve of the lovely lips, the moist tongue teasing, the eyes flashing among the inviting shadows, desire and temptation rising like a high tide in the romantic harbor of love, the smell of the fecundating lagoon, distant thunder of lightning flashes, bodies pressed, breasts caressed, heavy breathing, triumphal gasps, joy at last. Canon number 9. And it is the exquisite reference to something known yet unknown, creating reverberation from distant shores in the valley and from the mountains moving over the plains, the rippling gold light of the moon on the moon, a ship emerging in the horizon, then disappearing, Homer's fingertips of rose, Chance and Dostoevsky's compulsion to gamble, Freud's Anna, oh, full-blown, Joyce's lucid, supple, periodic prose, and a legion of others who have come and gone before, making lasting statements in their day. Without reference, the poem is a dull, flat thing, a hot parking lot in summer, a frozen lake in winter, duller than a junkyard, which at least reflects a history of mishaps. Canon number 10, it is also balance and grace. It knows how far to go before getting off the page in deference to other voices. It is never a ham, only occasionally a hamster. Canon number 11. And poetry is the long, beautiful line that comes out of nowhere, slithers across the page in shimmering colors, stops and looks at you with dark, moody eyes that tell of a story of adventure and romance, throws you a look that makes you want to follow it into the dark woods to be lost in love and knowledge for an evening or a century, ignoring the shouts and warning calls of those who come looking for you, so content you are living in the lap of love, firm breasts, taut nipples, pressed, caressed, your hands, her hands touching, lips lapping at the pool of sticky love, milk and honey and wine, while surrounded by books of knowledge. Is it possible? Love and knowledge? Wake up, dreamer. The sirens have lured you to the rocky cliffs where you and your boat will be destroyed. Full of fools with silly old man fantasies, la faune ridicule. Canon number 12, and it is the avoidance of the usual topics of much praise. Jazz, olive oil, Billie Holiday, who probably would not like you anyway, Ella, whom you never really knew, a recipe for lasagna that made him stay for more than dinner, sharing toothbrushes with a lover who cares, the oily secretions of her vagina smelling of musk and mackerel, his big dick hard as a rock, ready to erupt. Girls and boys, save this for texting and sexting because it is not literature. Hair here, hair everywhere, synchronized heartbeats, harlequins harmonized in blank stares, solemn organic oregano oratorios. Canon number 8 here, canon number 13, let's correct that. But it will include at least one old man or woman with Canaan character, a missing tooth, nose hairs, sitting on a stone wall with clowning grandchildren. Canon number 14, and it will include at least one dog, one cat, and two monarch butterflies, the butterflies dancing in the morning breeze by a garden with a fountain. Canon number 15. Somewhere also in the poem there will be a pair of tropical flowers, a rainforest and waterfalls, and in a forest of ferns, golden coins with piled high in a treasure chest with pirates trying to get away before the corn-bedecked soldiers with muskets arrive. Suspense will hold the lines together till all the notes of its music have sounded and the beat stops and the pirates back on board their ship in the bay pull up anchor and a fresh offshore breeze redolent of hyacinth bellows out their sails. Only then, with the last lines penned, will the poem's author release the source of inspiration, allowing the genie gently back into the bottle. Merci.
Thank you so much. All right. Step. And huh?
You can't play with his mouth.
Using. Oh. So I have the other person go before you then. All right, I will do that. This brings us to Off the Grid. We are bumping you up, ladies. And since they are new, this is their first time here, we must, of course, praise them in the manner becoming newbies.
Well, he's going to play acoustic guitar, and I'm going to play acoustic ukulele. A little bit taller. I'm short, but not that short.
So we're Off the Grid, that's our band name. We're all the way from the Big Island, Hawaii, and we're kind of got some touring dates in the San Francisco area and Berkeley area, and so we pulled you guys up on the internet and said open mic here. So this is Eric and I, and we're Off the Grid, and Edine is she's got her own band called Another Evolution, but we also support each other in our musicalness. So. Eric normally plays bass, but today he's going to play guitar on this song. And this is a Hawaiian song. It's called Palehua. It's all in Hawaiian, and it's talking about Palehua being the most majestic place. So we think it's a really blessing song to the land, and something really nice to share from the islands to all of you. Hey, offthegridmusic.org. And we've also got a couple CDs with our whole band and a couple of just the two of us. If you're interested, and we'd be very grateful to help our tour out. And mahalo nui loa, as we say, thank you very much. And Idine.
Thanks for having us on your poetry night.
Well, thanks for coming by. This is great. We love it. I'll gush later.
So this song actually starts with San Francisco, from when I was visiting last time, and ends with Hilo Hawaii, which is where me and Tiana know each other from. So we thought this would be a good one to do. Trying out a special new kind of guitar strap. Let's see how it works. Oh, it's too small. Tied it too tight. Oh, I got it.
It from, I'll take it. Because it goes like this and this. Clicks. There you go. Just don't walk over the wire there. So no tripping and falling here.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Steph. Is he here? Where'd he go? He was just here a second. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And then we'll take care of our fine prizes for the evening. And door prizes, specially designed, like I like to say, with your minds in mind.
We don't mind.
But we don't mind. I used to say, never mind, and my mom said, you don't have a mind to... It was quick and cutting with her remarks betimes. Not all the time. That's something. Don't get on the bad side. Don't play with the mashed potatoes on your plate. These are food. Food, you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would say, I'm sorry for the radio silence, my abstinence. So, I don't know if it's been apparent, but I've been, we're working on my street rhythms, and it is towards some of my open mic endeavors lately, but I got to practice, and by gar, it's fun, and rich, beautiful women put money in my jar, and I get a big thrill, get all tongue-tied, so I'm a cover artist. I'm also a poet. I started a poetry night at a homeless shelter in Keene, New Hampshire that apparently is still going. It's a place called 100 Nights, and I'm tailoring my lifestyle lately as a street urchin with a 17-foot land yacht, a bicycle that has 2 shocks attached to a baby jogger that's duct taped to 2 broomsticks with coat hangers and stuff. It suffices as they have a car battery underneath, which was to power my new acoustic electric career, where I don't have to work so hard, and I make better money. And I have these words ringing in my ears, a poem that goes, piss for preparation, prevents
Proper prior
performance.
preparation prevents piss poor performance. It's the 7 P's that you should never forget. I'll tell it to you. I made it a song.
It's your birthday. Oh no, 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 no. I didn't get the mail done. I had failed as a son. I don't know which way to go all the time. I'm trying to think of the next line. I don't know why I act this way. I misbehave almost every day. Got no place, got no
know, indecision blues, I got news for you. Have to take the news and cheer myself down because things are all not great. They're great sometimes. I delay sometimes and dilly-dally, and my God, if I don't get it done, nobody will. Learning how to take a jump hill. Don't you know there's no place to go? Oh, I don't care. I'm gonna get there. Because of the graduation speech, you know, that guy said, lots of my friends are over 50 and they don't know what they want to do with their lives still, and that's okay. But I came out here in California, it dawns on me 3 years ago already. It came to do simple things like get my driver's license and make a CD, and instead, well, I got tangled up in the social life of people living outdoors in San Francisco. So I'm proud to say I gave away a pair of shoes last night.
Bravo.
And
That's quite a feat.
yes.
Quite a feat. Sorry.
And
My goodness.
yeah, my time is up. I love you all. Wish we had a bathtub to share. You know, and gee whiz, can't wait for the gifts. You're looking at a tongue-tied poet. I'm not gonna lie. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. Let's step.
You can talk to him and he will advise you of where you can find him online. Now, David Erdreich, will you do me a giant favor?
Sure. Just cut these a couple of times so I can assure the audience that I'm not stacking the deck in favor of any particular.
I'm stacking the deck there. Where am I? I know I'm in here. Pick me first. Pick me first. No. Here I am.
Thank you so much.
Number 4.
All right, so if you were here and you read and signed in and next to your name was a number, these cards have numbers on them. Notice how fast I did that so you don't see who's last. These are the prizes for the evening. Henry Wordsworth Longfellow plays and poems. Travesties, a play by Tom Stoppard. I only read part of it. It is good, but I only read part of it. Stereo Walks in San Francisco. Love them. Now, if you've never heard or seen of heard Julia of Vinaigrette or seen her, now's your chance to be introduced. Cannibal Cafe, a typical kind of title. She's just a wild and crazy poet. In case you don't think there's science, there's science. And these are a collection of handy-dandy folders that you can use for handy-dandy purposes. And over there are announcements about a very fine open mic happening this Saturday. You may also choose the keynote if you wanted to be here next week.